Hello, and welcome to episode 123 of Design Curious Podcast. I'm your host and mentor, Rebecca Ward. Today on the podcast, I'm talking about launching your business, and more specifically, Launch Your Business Bootcamp, which is going to be opening very, very soon, the end of this week. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit more all about it. A lot of you listening are curious about the career of interior design, and a lot of times that involves becoming an entrepreneur and starting your business, but it is a very frightening task. There's a lot of steps that you have to do, and it's hard to know all those things that you need to do to get official. So that's what I'm talking about today, and kind of talking about what we're going to be doing in Launch Your Business Bootcamp. Before I get into the episode, I want to remind you I have other great things for you in the show notes. Links for downloads, free downloads, things I wish I'd known before I started my career in interior design. Also, there's a quiz on what kind of interior design you should be doing, and a lot of other great things. So check out the show notes, and let's talk about launching a business. You're now listening to Design Curious, a place where you, creative one, are here to learn about what it really is like to be an interior designer. And I'm your host and mentor, Rebecca Ward. If you're worried about how to succeed in a creative career, if you're ready to learn your next steps to become an interior designer, and if you want the satisfaction of doing something you love every day, you are in the right place. Grab a coffee, a notebook, and let's dig into today's episode. As I've talked about before and often bring up in my mentorship, that owning a business is not for every interior designer. Yes, it's a great way to go if you're looking for autonomy and potential for really good income. But it does take a lot of guts to start a business. And so I definitely applaud anyone who's thinking about it, who has done it. It's a lot of hard work. When I first set about to start my own business, I had a lot of fears. A lot of unknown about how the heck am I supposed to set up a business? What are the steps that I go through? Now, there are local resources that everybody can tap into. Hopefully you have a small business development center in your area, and you can definitely take advantage of that. They can help walk you through all the steps. But I think one of the reasons why I didn't go there first was because it wasn't industry specific. So I decided, being scrappy, to figure it out myself. But luckily for you, if you're in the same position that I was years ago and wanting to start your business and wanting to know the next steps to do, that is what Launch Your Business Bootcamp is about. It's an industry-specific class that will take you through starting your business and helping you to do all the right steps that you need to become official. Make sure you're not overlooking any legal obligations. And so I thought today it would be good to go through the coursework that I will be doing in Launch Your Business Bootcamp for those who are thinking about it, to get a better idea of what it entails. So first of all, once you sign up, February 1st, you'll get that invitation to pay, and then you'll get an email. And once you're on the platform, then you will see that there's some pre-work you need to do before our first call. And really what we want you to do is to start thinking, if you haven't already, and likely you have because you're a creative person and always planning ahead and dreaming, but start thinking about your brand and your business name. So we take you through some exercises to help you narrow down what might be a good business name for you and what kind of colors and just the look that you want your brand to have, and start doing some research on that, because later on you're going to need to make some decisions. But we wanted to give you plenty of time to think about it before you have to make that decision. So if you hadn't already, we're going to start off with that kind of a brainstorming before we get to our first week. Now, the first week, it might feel anticlimactic because there's a lot of groundwork that we want to do to make sure you have really thought through all of your messaging for your business before you get it established, because it's just going to make everything so much easier once you have this set. And this whole first week is not a step that I did in my business. I didn't even do it until years into it. And so I think it's really going to set you apart to be able to have this first week under your belt when you're setting up your business. So in the first week, what are we doing? We're taking a beat to consider what your core values are for your business. We will write a purpose statement, a mission statement, and start a strategic plan for the business. It sounds really dry and tedious and maybe not super sexy part of starting your business, but I promise you, and as we're going through the course, we'll get into why you really need to, and then you will appreciate it later on. Once you have all those things in place, then you can plug and play later on. So that's the first week, is starting with why, kind of taking that off of Simon Sinek's book, Start With Why. Of course, if you have not read that, you need to go out and read that. It's great for all areas of life, but especially if you're wanting to start your business. Then the next week, we're going to work on branding. So with all that pre-work that we had you do, we are partnering with a website designer who will be on the podcast, I believe, next month. You'll hear her, and she has put together a really generous download that she has available. And we're going to get your website set up. We're going to get your brand color set up and your logo. And with all of that, it'll take you a few weeks to get it really squared away. So that's why we want to try to do that at the beginning as well, because I want to give you plenty of time to not feel overwhelmed about putting a website together. A lot of designers, when they're starting out, have to bootstrap the things that they need. They can't afford necessarily to hire so many professionals all at once. And so oftentimes with the website, you're going to be working with a template. She's going to show us how to do that properly and get a website that looks great and works for you right now. And then once you have revenue coming in, you can then get the professional to help you elevate your website. But you definitely need something out there as you're hanging up your shingle for people to land on and understand what your services are and what your style and aesthetic and everything is, who you are. So that's the second week, working on branding, very important step. The third week is huge, which is why in week 4, the last week of February, is a bye week. So it's a catch-up week, because in week 3, this is where we're walking through all of the official steps that you need. So you've decided your business name. Depending on what that name is, you might need a DBA, doing business as, or fictitious name statement. You need to set up your business email, your phone number, locate a CPA for end of year taxes, determine what type of entity you need, apply for your EIN number from the IRS, get your business license for your city or county that you're living in, open your bank account, get your resale permit, and reach out to an insurance agent for your business insurance. So that is a lot to do, and so that's why I give you 2 weeks to do that. But it's a very intimidating step, but definitely the one that makes you official and exciting. So by the end of February, you really are established officially with the IRS and you're on your way. So then in March, what we're going to be doing is talking about how to run your business. So you've got your business, but that doesn't mean you know how to run it. So we're going to talk about finding clients, defining your process for your clients, setting up your management software if you want that. Research a receiving warehouse in your area, because if you're going to be doing furnishings, you're going to need a receiver, someone to collect your furniture and deliver it to the client's house. You're going to research what trade companies you want to work with. You're going to acquire the tools and softwares you're going to need for running your business. So that it could include printing, drawing software, your CRM, time tracking, etc. So a lot of those types of project management things we're going to look at in week 4. Of course, I'm going to be with you, helping you, showing you what I do, what works for me, like how I do in my Design Mentor. And then you get to take that as an example or just as inspiration to set up your own way, and you can get feedback with me. I'm here with you the whole way through. So nothing that you have to do is on your own. I'm giving you feedback all the way through this course. And then week 5, we're looking at money management. It's really important that from the beginning, you're tracking your income, your revenue, your expenses, whether that's just in a spreadsheet or in a money management software. It's important to get set up the right way so that when it comes time to do your taxes, everything's easy, legitimate, good to go. So we'll talk about working with a bookkeeper, an accountant, your accounting software, and then also your contract is in this week we're going to look at, and partner with a contract attorney to get your contract going. Then week 6 is all about pulling it together. So this is launch planning week. We're going to look at email marketing, social media announcements, ordering your business cards, all the things that's going to be client facing and public facing so that you can then the last week of March launch your business, announce it, put your open sign out, and then you're ready to go. We are going to have a few bonus things after that. And then, like I said, you're in My Design Mentor for a whole year. So you'll have access to me for the year. You'll have access to the additional learnings that is in the platform. You'll have a community there going along with you. So I think this is really going to take a lot of the fear out of starting a business. It's going to be a little bit intense. I'm not going to lie, though, for those 2 months. But like I said, if this is your goal for 2025 to get your business started, now's the perfect time because going into spring, everybody's ready for their projects to start. So you want to be in Launch Your Business Bootcamp. I'd love to see you there. And like I said, starting a business is one of my joys. Not that I've started multiple businesses, but I love when people come to me like, how do I start this and what forms do I need? And that's partly why I started My Design Mentor. And this part of it, just being able to hold people's hands through the process, I think is really going to be a benefit for you. Okay, so just a couple of days now before Launch Your Business Bootcamp is open and starting. So that's the end of this week. So I want you to get in there. Message me if you have any questions or send me an email, but you want to get on the list so that as soon as the doors open, you can get started on launching your business. The link is in the show notes. That's all I have for you this week. Next week, we'll have another great episode. And until then, stay creative. Thanks for listening. If you love this episode, please leave a rating and a review. This helps me reach other curious creatives like you. If you have a topic request or would like to contact me, simply head over to my website, rwarddesign.com, or email me at podcast@rwarddesign.com.